Good morning. It's the 4th of November 2025, and so much is happening for people to see. We're now seeing the old United States of America corporation falling, where they've had control for so many years, best part of 100 years. And the hegemony that they've had, the power that they've had, is no longer there. They can put sanctions on people. They can threaten people, which they've done for years. They can try and replace leaders of countries like Venezuela. And that doesn't work anymore. It's all being exposed. It's come to an end. And it will always be difficult for the American people to see their power go through their hands. But this happened before. It happened with the United Kingdom when they had control of the world. Before that, the Ottoman Empire and the Roman Empire. And it's a process. It's not nice if you're living there. But the one thing I would urge with the American people is the new Republic of America will be a far, far better place when we all learn to live together and respect one another. But during the time of dismantling of an old system, it's going to be painful. Nobody likes it. But that's where we are on the 4th of November 2025. We're seeing everything in plain sight as it all collapses for the birth of a new world. Good morning, Paul. Good morning, Drew.
Good morning, Charlie. Good morning, everybody. Well, my first story of the day. President Donald Trump is reportedly planning to deploy American troops into Mexico to target drug cartels. The plan would put US military personnel and intelligence officers on the ground, aiming to strike cartel leaders and drugs labs south of the border. The proposal has already sparked debate over its legality and the potential risks of sending US forces into another country. Well, I was speaking to somebody yesterday. Mexico's in a bad place. They can't control their southern border, so maybe they've reached out for help.
Well, this is all part of the pantomime. This is all part of the exposure. And we're watching whether it's Mexico, whether it's Venezuela. The one thing that's for sure is there are two other countries involved that nobody dare talk about. And that's China and Russia. And they're already there, helping them out. But America has to pretend that it's terrible there, absolutely terrible. And these people are terrible. The truth is when you try and root out evil, it takes time. And it takes good people in good places. And I can tell you on very good authority that the countries around the world were all infiltrated between 8 and 10 years ago by good people in government, in the police force and in the military. And they were there to see what was going on. So the knowledge is there, but we're living through the pantomime of exposing, number one, where the corruption is, and number two, the old world order of hegemony and regime change and everything else. This is all part of the awakening. Are you awake yet?
And my first story of the morning. Iraq is preparing for parliamentary elections scheduled for November the 11th. The government has deployed approximately 200,000 security personnel across the country to ensure public safety. And Iraq and Turkey have signed a 10-year agreement to manage shared water resources from the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. The deal is designed to reduce regional tensions and improve long-term water management. P.S. There's no RV this week.
The BBC is facing allegations of serious breaches of impartiality after a senior whistleblower, Michael Prescott, a former advisor to the broadcaster, claims Panorama doctored a Donald Trump speech to make it appear he encouraged the Capitol riots. He also accused the BBC of censoring coverage of the transgender debate and biased reporting on Gaza. Prescott sent a detailed internal report to the BBC board after his warnings to the Standards Committee, who were reportedly ignored, sparking concerns over transparency and editorial accountability. I've seen the edit. Wow, they chopped that up to make it look like he wanted violence on Capitol Hill.
Well, Paul, you and I had a little bit of fun, didn't we, in Dubai about editing videos. And I gave Paul an Indian voice just for a bit of fun. And we're just amateurs by comparison. The BBC, of course, are professionals. They've been doing this for years. And they know how to edit tapes and recordings of people to such a level that you wouldn't even notice to the naked eye until you see the original. And then you suddenly realise how corrupt the BBC, ITV, Channel 4, Sky, CNN, NSNBC, all of these channels, they are professionals at editing for their own ends. And that's going to stop.
Moving to Zimbabwe, inflation rate is expected to fall between 15 and 20% by year end. The improvement is attributed to stability in the Z currency and a rise in gold production, which is expected to exceed last year's 38.4 tonne record.
Well, for me, this is always good news. I've always loved Africa, and we're watching the transformation of Africa as they get rid of all the intruders that shouldn't be there. And we're seeing also with Zimbabwe, we're seeing a huge move forward. With Burkina Faso, we're seeing a huge move forward. And as much as we'd wanted South Africa to lead the way, other African countries have taken a leap on them. And it's time for South Africa to catch up with all of these other countries that are now standing up for their rights. You have enough natural resources in Africa to look after the entire planet, but first of all, look after your own people. This whole journey is about looking after your own people. Make America great again, make Africa great again, make the UK great again, make Spain great again, Germany great again, but not the EU. That's part of the old system that's collapsing, and collapsing fast.
Well, Charlie, speaking of the old system collapsing, EU officials are worried that the International Monetary Fund could cut financial support to Ukraine. The concern comes as Belgium refuses to back an EU plan to use frozen Russian assets as collateral for new IMF loans. Those funds, worth hundreds of billions, are held largely in Belgium, which fears major legal and financial risks. Without IMF support, officials warn Ukraine could face a serious loss of investor capital. A final decision is expected at the EU summit in December.
Well, this is all going to come to an end. But what it's doing on this whole journey is exposing the EU as warmongers, exposing the UK as warmongers. These people want to continue the war. This is why they're pumping money into it, when the rest of the world can see right through it. And thank God now that France, Italy, Belgium are waking up in Europe and the UK. People are starting to see through the bullshit, and starting to see through who is provoking these wars. Don't be brainwashed or misled by the old mainstream media narrative. It's all coming to an end. If you want to know the truth, you'll find us here on my own channel, charlieward.com, and on YouTube. We're now back on YouTube. Thank you for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a wonderful day.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Hi guys, this is a personal message from me. If you see a video on Facebook, you are following an imposter. I am not on Facebook. I have not been on Facebook since June 2020 when they removed me. Please redirect to watch all of my videos at charlieward.com. All official social media links are on my website. We urge you to stop following fake channels. I will never message you in a video. I will never ask you for money. I will never message you privately. I will never contact you directly. I will never ask you to email any information directly. I will never sell you cryptocurrency or any currency or ask you to open a quantum financial system wallet. Please do not get caught by these scammers who are out there. I do not endorse other truthers so that an imposter can say that I've said this. I will not ask you directly or indirectly to open a quantum wallet. So please be careful. If you want to check out the validity of anything, contact us directly via our website at charlieward.com. There's a contact page there. We have a customer care team there to help you.